Are you looking for the best stocks to buy right now in August 2023? Well, today I'll share with you two great stocks that can be very interesting for you to have on your watch list for the next month. As always, to pick the different companies that I've included on this list, I've made sure to use companies that have a great business model that is sustainable on the long term and that are currently, in my opinion, undervalued right now. So without further ado, let's take a look at my pick number 1. The first company on my list is the e-commerce giant Shopify with the ticker SHOP. With over 2.1 million daily active users on their platform, this Canadian business located in Ottawa is considered as one of the largest e-commerce platforms in the entire world. In fact, Shopify is the most important name in the US market when it comes to the e-commerce software, where about the 2/3 of the total Shopify stores are actually located in this market, and on its side, the European market represents about 17% of the total Shopify stores. Obviously, throughout the pandemic, so between 2020 and 2021, we've seen a massive increase of the demand of the people that were using Shopify, and in fact, this number has reached over 6 million shops all around the world at the end of 2022, and while the e-commerce market was worth about $3.32 trillion in 2022, this number should reach about $5.56 trillion of revenue in 2027, which represents an average growth rate of about 11% per year. Among the most popular websites that are using Shopify, you can find companies such as Gymshark, Kylie Cosmetics, Fashion Nova, and Allbirds. On its side, this Canadian business has been able to make over $5.6 billion of revenue in 2022 that came from their 3 big pricing plans. Those plans obviously give the options to their customers to use all the different services and products of Shopify to build their own online store, and on their side they actually have access to 3 different plans. First, you have the basis plans for about $51 per month, which, as its name is saying it, is offering some basic features. This obviously includes a limitation of the numbers of people that can edit the websites, as well as some higher transaction fees. So this kind of plan is more useful notably for individuals and small businesses. After, you have the Shopify plan for small businesses that is offered for about $132 per month, and after you have the advanced plan that is offered to medium and large companies for about $517 per month. In their latest earnings report, you can see that both their subscription solutions as well as their merchant branch has been growing quite well, which has resulted in a massive increase in their gross profit of over 25% year over year. And this also transformed a negative net income in the first quarter of 2022 to a positive net income in the first quarter of 2023. So at the end of the day, after a horrendous 2022 on the market, this company has been able to bounce back since the beginning of 2023, where it has gained over 80% of value. But at the end of the day, with a market cap of only about $80 billion, I believe that if this company is able to diversify a little bit better their income sources, they'll be able to grow even more in the future. And finally, for the last pick on my list for the best stocks to buy in August 2023, I've decided to include the American EV companies Rivian with the ticker RIVN. Rivian is an American electric vehicles company founded in 2009 and that is focusing mainly in the production and the manufacturing of great electric vehicles. But compared to a major company such as Tesla, this business is mainly focusing on a larger format of cars. For example, a Ford type of cars that is more adapted to some harsh conditions as we have over here in Canada with the winter and the snow. Indeed, there are 2 main brands of cars, which are the R1S and the R1T, offer some wide range of possibilities to their users. And at the same time, they also have some excellent autonomy with their battery that goes up to 650 kilometers. And this is an excellent news for anyone that is looking to buy an electric car, because in fact, one of the biggest challenge of these cars is often their infrastructure, but most importantly, their autonomy of the battery. But with some excellent materials and infrastructure and an autonomy that goes up to 600 kilometers, this is pretty much the same as normal cars. Add to this, Rivian is also selling a bunch of great useful products and services that can be very interesting for car enthusiasts, from wall chargers to floor mats to even different clothes. And just like Tesla, Rivian is also offering great remotely services to their clients to be able to help them to spot and to remove the different problems that can occur on on their car. The only problem with that is that if the clients need to repair something physically with their cars and that they don't know how to do it, well, Rivian doesn't have a lot of locations because most of them are actually located in the US, and you also have one in Canada in Vancouver and one in England. But obviously this comes from the fact that this business is still quite small compared to a company like Tesla because it only has a market cap of about $25 billion. In terms of the total revenue, Rivian has been able to generate about $1.65 billion of revenue in 2022, which however represent an increase of over 3,000% compared to 2021. And in terms of the production of new electric vehicles for the first quarter of 2023, they've been able to produce over 7,946 new units, which actually represent an increase of over 548% year over year. Obviously, those are rookie numbers compared to a big company like Tesla that has been generating and producing over 400,000 new units in the last quarter. But still, the Rivian growth has been way more impressive than the Tesla growth over the last quarter. Add to this when you know that the electric vehicle market currently worth about $193 billion and that it is expected to grow up to $700 billion in 2030, which actually represent an average growth rate of about 17% per year. Well, you can understand that innovative companies like Rivian could see some massive growth in the upcoming years. But as you can see in the first quarter of 2023, despite having some growth of over 600% in their total revenue, well, they are still unprofitable with some negative gross profit and some negative net income. And this is notably due to all the capital expenditures that this kind of company has, notably for all the research and development. But in fact, this is quite normal because if we compare it to another electric vehicle companies like Tesla, it took them a lot of years before to become profitable. And as I told you earlier, because this company has a small market cap, even if it has gained over 50% of value since the beginning of the year, well, it is still not at its all-time high, and in my opinion, it still has a lot of room for growth. And I could even say that even if it has more risk compared to another big company like Tesla, I believe that this company has more potential of return on the long term compared to it. Especially when we know the global energy transition that we'll see in the future in all the transportation field. And at the moment, this company is still well positioned in that field as being in the top 5 of the biggest and the largest electric vehicles companies in the world. So there you have it. Those are two great companies in my opinion that are worth having on your watch list for the last month of the summer. I personally believe that even if these companies are not offering any dividends to their shareholders, they are offering some higher potential of return compared to other great companies on the market. First, you have a well-established business in Shopify that is one of the largest e-commerce platforms in the world, and with the project growth that is expected in that field over the next couple of decades, this kind of company is well positioned at the moment in it. And in the upper end, you have Rivian, which is an excellent electric vehicle company, in my opinion, that will be a great competitor to Ford in the future. And even if this company is still not well known by many investors, I believe that it has great arguments to eventually become a leader in that EV market. But on their side, if you'd prefer to invest in exchange trade funds, also known as ETFs, to grow as much as possible your capital on the long term, well, check out the video that's gonna be right over here, and I will see you soon. Peace!